Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. Guys, sorry about the low volume of videos. Unfortunately, as you guys know my situation, I've not been very well. High temperature, shivering at night, body aches, shortness of breath, sore throat. I went for my COVID test yesterday and just still waiting on my result. But yeah, I've been in a very, very difficult place last couple of days. I can't explain how bad I've been feeling. I will be doing my reaction to the Joshua Usyk fight later. I will be giving my thoughts. I will be letting you know what I think of the fight. Unfortunately, Pro B's from PepTalkUK sadly passed away. I want to send my condolences to his family. Really, really sad news. I watch Pep Talk UK a lot. I used to like I like Pro B's, or I used to like Pro B's energy. His interviews were spot on, brilliant. And he was great at reporting recovering boxing. He was brilliant. It was always relaxed. He seemed like I've never met him or I never spoke to him, but he seemed like a very humble, really cool guy to be around. I know he was very close to Anthony Joshua. I know that, he actually interviewed Anthony Joshua in the gym, sitting in Anthony Joshua's car. So I know he was very close with Anthony Joshua. And it's just sad. It's sad, and I'm so glad that Matchroom did a little tribute for him. It's sad, man. It's really, really sad. He was only, 42 or 41? Like, so young. Yeah, so young. And I'm down as it is, like I'm ill myself. But when you hear news like that, there's a big fight tonight. All of that gets put to the side. And you think that there's bigger things in life than boxing, sport. It just breaks my heart, I saw something on Twitter that he's got daughters. Like, can you imagine what they must be going like? Yeah. Sometimes it really, really irritate. Like, people die in this world, but the people that are affected when someone's gone, it's just sometimes, like I said, hopefully, his family, his friends, I'll send them all the strength, and hopefully they can get over this difficult period, because it's very difficult to lose somebody. Very, very difficult to lose somebody. Yeah. Let's get on to talk some boxing. Guys, David Benavidez has spoken about Jermall Charlo. David Benavidez feels that he knocks out Jermall Charlo. David Benavidez, I feel like I've said a few things about David Benavidez where I feel like, he's a guy, he doesn't just talk. He's a guy that goes out and he actually wants these fights, and he'll take these fights. Probably because he hasn't got the profile some of these other guys like Jermall Charlo's got, and he's looking to fight all of these guys. Whereas some of these other guys like your Jermall Charlo's, they're not really fighting, they're not really fighting the top guys. They're not really going out there and fighting the other guys. And I feel like there's a little bit of avoiding from their part. Whereas Benavidez strikes me as somebody that he'll just fight anybody. But at the minute, it's looking bad for Benavidez, because Benavidez is coming across as somebody that he's now doing a lot of talking. Although I still feel that Benavidez would fight all of these guys, that I feel like there's a lot more talking from Benavidez than actually fighting. And it might not be his fault, because it may just be down to the fact that nobody wants to fight him because he's high risk, low reward. But when you're coming out and saying you're going to stop this guy and stop that guy, And, you know, boxing fans want to see action. They want to see you take a big fight. Now, we know that Benavidez was going to fight, was it Jose Utsakatsi? You know, the guy that Caleb Plant beat for his world title, you know, to win the world title off. He beat Jose Utsakatsi, which is a good test for David Benavidez, a test that I expected David Benavidez to come through. But I feel like David Benavidez is at the stage of his career where David Benavidez now needs a serious test. David Benavidez needs to step up and fight your Charlos, fight your, you know, your Golovkins. I know Golovkin's at middleweight, but fight, you know, guys of that level. You know, your Billy Joes. Well, Billy Joe's probably going to come back down to middle. So there's not really a lot of people. Benavidez can also move up to 175. You know, we know that Benavidez is a big guy, and he could easily go up to 175. So I'm pretty sure in the future, Benavidez will go to 175. But I don't understand why. See, a lot of people, I would love to see Andrade fight Benavidez, but Christian said, well, there's nothing to gain for Andrade. Benavidez hasn't got a belt. But a win over Benavidez would gain Andrade credibility, something that he lacks with the boxing fans, because a lot of the boxing fans seem to think that Andrade's not fought anybody. And if he beats a Benavidez, they're not going to say that, because everyone seems to think that Benavidez is the real deal. That's probably not realistic. I wouldn't mind Benavidez moving up to 175, even a fight with Callum Smith. That would interest me. You know, that was a fight that I really wanted to see when Callum Smith was at 168. I thought that was a really good fight. And I thought that was a very interesting fight. Do I think that Benavidez would stop Jermall Charlo? I don't. I think Benavidez is fast. He's got fast hands. But he's tough, but defensively not the most sound guy. And he's quite readable as well. And I think Jermall Charlo has got a very good jab. He's got a good straight right hand. I think that would be a tough fight for both. I think that's a good fight. But I don't think I know people are gonna say, well, Benavidez is the real deal. He does this. No. I've seen Jermall Charlo fight. I've seen Benavidez fight. Benavidez. Here's the thing: you can't criticize Andrade for his resume, but then say Benavidez is the real deal, because Benavidez has fought nobody. Let's be honest. Benavidez has fought no one. Like, his resume is terrible. He's not been in the ring with anyone. So if we've got to keep the same energy. We've got to keep the same energy, because Benavidez hasn't fought anyone either. So let's see if Benavidez, now he's probably going to fight, you know, his toughest opponent, Jose Utsakatsi. But Jose Utsakatsi's already been beat by Caleb Plant. You know, so he's kind of fighting Caleb Plant's leftovers. So Benavidez needs a big fight. Now, people may say he's high risk, low reward. There will be somebody that fights you. There will be somebody that fights him. There will be somebody out there that that would fight David Benavidez. Sometimes it's about you going out your comfort zone and taking a risk. Maybe if he moves up to 175, there's fights there that may be high risk, low reward for him, you know. But I feel like Benavidez has got himself to blame, because if Benavidez didn't lose his belt at the weigh-in, then Benavidez would have been a WBC champion, which would have meant that Canelo would have had to fight him if he wanted to be undisputed, which means that David Benavidez would have got a Canelo Alvarez fight. But because David Benavidez wasn't disciplined, he ended up losing his belt, and he didn't get the fight with Canelo. You know, and that's where we're at. He didn't get the fight with Canelo, even though, like I said, I believe he would have got the fight with Canelo, because Canelo wanted to be undisputed at 168. See, I think Canelo Alvarez, the thing is about the 168-pound division, all the champions, even Benavidez included when he was champion, all of these guys are very inexperienced. All of these guys lack any kind of signature win. And all of these guys have not the greatest resume. And Canelo sees that. Canelo sees that these guys lack experience at world level. And jumping in with Canelo Alvarez you ain't gonna beat him. Unless you're a special breed of a fighter. I saw Christian put up, oh, well, Muhammad Ali beat Sonny Liston, and he put up, he put up some examples, but the examples that he put up were Buster Douglas, right, beating Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson wasn't Mike Tyson when he fought Buster Douglas. He was having a lot of, we know that Mike Tyson had issues going into that fight. He wasn't 100%. He wasn't 100% at it for that particular fight. I believe a fully focused Mike Tyson would have beaten Buster Douglas. But you do get the odd occasions where guys that, come out from nowhere end up shocking, a great fighter. But that happens very rarely. Very, very rarely. And you've got to be a special type of fighter. But when you go into a fight with lack of experience against somebody that's got a lot of experience, who's also a great fighter, the chances of you winning is very remote because you haven't been battle tested like he has. You haven't got the experience at the top level like he has. And guys like Billy Joe, Benavidez, Caleb Plant, they all kind of sit into the same kind of category. Hence why I make Canelo a massive favorite over all of them. They're not fighting each other. And if they were to fight each other, they would become more battle tested. And the winner of those fights fighting each other would, in my opinion, have a better chance against Canelo. That's just my opinion. But do I think that Benavidez would stop Jermall Charlo? I don't think he would. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think David Benavidez would stop Jermall Charlo? I don't. Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.